Today I'm going to show you how I made the lapbook to go with the book, Oh Say, Can You Say What's the Weather Today? If you haven't already printed out the materials used to make this lapbook, please look at the link below this video and go to my website to print out all the materials needed. You will also find links to the supplies that I used to create this lapbook. First of all, you will need to take a file folder and you will want to create flaps by folding both sides into the middle. Once you have your flaps, you'll want to take and cut out the cover piece and glue it onto the front of one of your flaps. Next, we're going to create our middle flap of our lapbook using construction paper cut to 8.5 by 11 and packing tape. You want to take a strip of the packing tape and glue it to the back of your lapbook and your 8.5 by 11 piece. Once this is glued together, it'll create a flap that will sit in the middle of your lapbook. Next, to create our main folder pocket, you want to cut out the pocket and fold back the sides where shown. Then you will want to glue or tape the pocket to the back of your lapbook. You will then want to cut out the top portion of the Compare a Sunny Day with a Rainy Day printable. You want to glue this top piece to the upper middle portion of your lapbook. You will then take the bottom stamps and put those into the file folder at the back. When your child is ready to do this project, they will color the stamps and cut them out and place them onto the correct circle of either rainy or sunny. Next, we're going to create our weather flashcards and flashcard pocket. You will want to cut out the pocket and fold over the flaps as shown. You will then glue the flaps to the back of the pocket and the pocket to your lapbook on the right hand side bottom of your file folder. For the flashcards, I went ahead and printed them on regular paper and laminated them. At this point, you can laminate all of the other items that you've printed on regular paper that need to be laminated. You will then cut these flashcards out and put them in the pocket you just created. Next, we're going to create our weather paper dolls. You will have printed your boy or girl paper doll onto cardstock and the weather clothing that you have decided to use. You will want to cut out both the doll and the clothing. At this time, we're just going to paste the paper doll onto your file folder at the left-hand bottom corner of your file folder. Next, we're going to create our layered Draw the Weather book. You will want to cut out each of these rectangles on the solid lines. You will then layer the rectangles from largest at the bottom to smallest at the top. Once you have them layered, you'll want to glue each of them together by placing a small strip of glue on each layer and laying the next layer on top of it. Once you have them all glued together, you'll want to glue the bottom of your book to the right-hand upper corner of your lapbook. Your child will draw a picture describing each of the weather conditions. Now you want to make the pocket for your weather math cards. Go ahead and cut out the pocket, fold as shown, and then glue the pocket to your lapbook on the upper left corner. Next, you'll want to cut out each of the umbrellas and the water drops as stamps. You can store these in the upper corner pocket. Your child can use this in many different ways. You can place the umbrellas in order to learn number recognition. You can use them to add and subtract using the umbrellas and the raindrops. I went ahead and had a scrap piece of laminated paper and a dry erase marker to create your plus and equal and minus. Next, we're going to use construction paper cut to 8.5 by 6 to create a large flap to hold some of our items that your child will use with some of the activities. Fold the sides over, glue or tape to the bottom lower portion of your lap book. Next, we're going to do the rainbow colors. Go ahead and cut out the rainbow and glue it on top of your flap. I went ahead and printed and cut out the little clouds, and I'm going to store those in the yellow flap, and my child can glue them on after he has colored the rainbow. To make the water cycle wheel, you'll want to cut out both circles. Place them on top of one another. I use cardstock for the bottom piece. You'll want to go ahead and place a hole and poke your brad into both of the wheels and into your yellow fold over flap. I chose to put mine on the underside of the flap. I cut out the did you know portion of the activity and glued it onto a piece of cardstock or construction paper, and I'm going to place this sticking out of my yellow flap to help give information when we do the water cycle wheel. Now to create your weather dress-up pocket to store your clothes. Go ahead and cut it out and fold as shown and glue the back portion of your pocket to the top right-hand corner of your middle flap that you created. I decided to color the clothes with markers and cut them out to make it a little simpler. Depending on your child's age and skill levels, you may want to keep this page together and have them color each pieces of clothing and then have them cut them out. Next, your child will color and cut out a pop-up umbrella. The instructions are on the sheet that you printed. I printed mine onto cardstock. I decided to make a little flap using glue and construction paper and glue it to the top of the page just so that shows to pull it out. I stored this in our yellow envelope that we made. Next, we're going to make our weather evaporation cards. I went ahead and laminated these and cut them out. Next, we're going to make the pocket to hold the cards by cutting out the pocket, folding as shown, and gluing it to the orange middle flap that we created, either beside or below your weather dress-up pocket. Your child can use these with the printable that we stored in the back pocket of our lap book, and it explains about the water cycle and evaporation. So you can use these cards to put them in order, use them as flashcards to explain. To create the cloud viewer, go ahead and print your cloud viewer on paper. Cut out the middle prior to laminating. Once it's laminated, cut the outside of the viewer and glue a popsicle stick using tape or glue to the back of your viewer. Then you are ready to go ahead and look out at the clouds, and your child can match the clouds outside to the cloud on the cloud viewer.